Hey, what's happening, everybody? John here with Damn Straight Media and another episode of Damn Straight Media Live. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it very much. Today on the show, we are going to be talking about Mike Rowe. Now, I'm a big fan of Mike Rowe's. I really am. Here he is right here. We all know him from TV. I believe like the Discovery Channel. I know he had a legal issue with the Discovery Channel. I think he sued the hell out of them for something. I can't remember what it was. But I am a huge fan of his. Um, he did a post on X last week, and I wanted to respond to it because I guess the post went viral. It was actually an anti-communism, anti-DSA, or Democratic Socialists of America quote or post from him, in the idea that this is all new, and that's the only problem that I have with anything that he said in it. The fact of the matter is, communism, the DSA, he is absolutely correct as far as the overall evil that the DSA is bringing to the political arena in the United States of America. But the problem that I had with the quote or with the post is the simple fact that he's assuming that this is all new, and it really isn't. The Democrat Party has been drifting towards communism for decades. I'm going to say probably, you could go back to the late 60s. You could see it. But I think it really took off under Jimmy Carter when Carter took the Department of Education, which was very small at the time. Very small when he started. It was actually the Department of Education was actually housed, if I'm not mistaken, my because I wrote about this previously on Substack a couple of years ago, but the work that I did on it, my research showed that I think it was housed within the Department of Health for a while, and then Jimmy Carter turned it into the behemoth that it is today. He brought about a massive change to the Department of Education, and this is really when indoctrination of our kids started. So, but we're going to get into all of that right now. What I want to do is I want to go through each of the paragraphs of his post on X and break them down as we go. Guys, if you enjoy the show too, please share it with your friends and family. If you have anybody that you know that might enjoy it, share the link with them. I would appreciate it. And don't feel free to leave some comments too after the post is up. I think you can do it live too right now. So, but the post actually starts out with the following. I am not who you'd call a keen observer of the political climate in our country, but I do pay attention broadly to what's going on within our two parties. Watching the latest from Bill Maher, I was reminded of how we struggle to reconcile our support for an idea we might like if it's promoted by a politician we hate. Boy, isn't he absolutely correct in that. And here's the thing: if you go out to like YouTube or something, and every now and then they'll have it on news websites and stuff, where somebody on the street will go out and start interviewing random people. They'll ask a question. They'll say, "What do you think of this quote from Donald Trump?" And he'll read the quote off to them, and then they'll say, "Oh yeah, Donald Trump's a racist asshole." Well, actually, that quote was from Barack Obama. Oh, really? Yeah. So this is a great example of that we struggle to reconcile support for an idea we might like if it's promoted by a politician that we hate, and vice versa. Here, though, we have an opportunity, Democrats in particular, to speak out loudly and clearly against an ideology that has been proven demonstrably to be a really bad idea. He's referring to the Democratic Socialists of America. This is a communist organization. There's no question about it. But like I said at the beginning of the show, the Democrat Party is, in fact, or has, in fact, been drifting that way for probably, gosh, I'm going to say two or more, maybe 2.5 generations or so. I mean, it's This has been going on for a long time. Look at the attacks on things like Christianity in general. No more Christianity in school. Can't bring a Bible to school. Can't talk about Jesus in school. You know what I mean? You can't do any of that stuff. Anti-religion, anti-this, anti-that, anti-capitalists. It's ridiculous. But they have been drifting this way for a very long time, and the Democrat Party has wanted this. You look at McCarthy. Joseph McCarthy back in 1950, when he stood up and said, hey, I know that there are card-carrying communists within the federal government, within Congress, within the Senate. They're spreading into academia. You look at academia today. He was right. Everybody, what did the media back then do? What did government back then do when McCarthy stood up before everybody and said communism is here? What did they do? Well, they coined the term McCarthyism. They ridiculed him, and they ignored what he was telling everybody. They didn't want, the people within power did not want anything coming out about what was really going on behind the scenes, because the American people would not have accepted it back then. We knew what communism was back then. They would not have accepted it. So what did they do? They shut Joseph McCarthy down. But you look at universities today. He said academia, even into the federal government, the Army. Look at the Army today. Look what happened during the Biden administration, or even during the Obama administration, with transgenderism. Look at the number of Army officers, armed forces in general, where officers were dressing in skirts, men dressing in skirts as transgender. You know what I mean? This has gone on ever since Obama came to power in 2009. Universities used to be universities were the indoctrinators of our kids coming out of high school, but now it's starting within kindergarten, and this has been going on for a long time. So this idea that the DSA is something new, it really isn't. The ideology has always been here. The DSA has always been here. Whether or not they want to label themselves as socialists, they haven't been able to. They haven't had the balls to do it. The Democrat Party has not had the balls to do it, because they knew that the general population would not accept something like that. Look at the millions of dollars that are being taken by universities from the Chinese Communist Party. Billions of dollars every year across the country. Universities everywhere accept billions of dollars from the Chinese. Look at the money that Biden accepted from the Chinese. I mean, in terms of Joe Biden, I mean, he's been around for a long, long time, and even he embraced it. So communism has been working its way into the lives of the American people for decades, a long time. I mean, you could actually, if you really wanted to, you could go back to the days of Woodrow Wilson. Woodrow Wilson was a hardcore progressive who actually leaned towards Marxism. He read about Marxism, and he actually liked it. He liked liberal policies. He really did. He liked an all-consuming large government. So, like I said, the difference between the Democrat Party, the old school Democrats, and this new DSA, the old school Democrats didn't have the balls to call themselves socialists or communists, but they have been drifting that way forever. And that is why we are seeing what we are seeing now. Really, again, I would say it really, really started with the Department of Education, indoctrinating our children from kindergarten right up through 12th grade, and then into higher learning, bachelor's degree, master's degree, whatever. These places, nobody goes to college. And think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Why is it that the vast majority of students who graduate out of college, or even going into college from high school, 90% of them, I'm going to say, I'm not 100% sure what the number is, but I'm going to say it's got to be close to 90%, close to 100%, are liberals. They have liberal ideology, and especially if they were somewhat liberal going into college from high school, when they come out of college, 9 times out of 10, folks, those people come out and they are flaming liberals. And not only that, they turn them into antagonists. Yeah, they become antagonists. They don't go to college to learn. Look at the subject matter that's changing in colleges. Reading, writing, arithmetic, math, all that stuff. It's becoming secondary to all of the African American studies, woke studies, transgender studies. I mean, give me a fucking break. Are you kidding? This is communism on steroids. And all of it being done to destroy the fabric of the country, the American family. That's the truth. It's been going on for years, folks. Democrats in particular to speak out loud. Oh, wait a minute. No, hold on. Where was it? And vice versa. Here, though, we have an opportunity for Democrats in particular to speak out loudly and clearly against an ideology that's been proven demonstrably to be a really bad idea. Yes, it has. We all know that. It's been a bad idea for a very, very long time. Communism across the globe has murdered far more than Nazis ever did. Both ideologies absolutely horrible, but communism in general is in terms of overall numbers, communism beats Nazism all day long when it comes to the death count. That's the truth. So, second paragraph. It's alarming to see how quickly communism has been embraced by so many. But it's even more alarming to see how many have yet to condemn it in favor of sheltering under a big tent. This week, Gavin Newsom dismissed concerns over Democratic Socialists of America and progressive candidates winning key primaries. Stating he would gladly campaign for them, he argued that the party must be in the addition, not subtraction business to retake control of Congress. Yeah, but if the Democrat Party or the DSA is going to take control of Congress, or if it is going to be a mix of old school Democrats and the DSA, what are we talking about policy-wise here, Gavin Newsom? I mean, are you really willing to accept the policies of the Communist Party? And the answer to that question is sure they are. They've been doing it all along, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said before, there was nothing really quick about this. It's been going on for a long time. Democrats are not going to condemn it. There's only a couple out there. Right now, Fetterman is really the only one who's condemned the DSA, but even Fetterman has said, because it was speculated that he may jump ship and switch parties, but he's come right out and said within the past couple of weeks that there's no way in hell that he would ever leave the Democrat Party. So I guess if the DSA takes over the Democrat Party, well, then he's going to become a part of it. Either that or he's going to get primaried, because I'm quite certain that look at the Democrat Party now. They've come out against Fetterman en masse. They hate him because he speaks out against their party. As you all know, the Democrat Party, anytime something goes wrong, they all circle the wagon. Well, Fetterman is the only one who does not always circle the wagon, even though he has said he's going to remain a Democrat. He is an old school. He's an old school Democrat. You think about this, ladies and gentlemen. The Democrat Party of today, guys like John F. Kennedy. Look at the Kennedy family in general. Look at the Department of Health, Robert Kennedy Jr. running the Department of Health. His entire family has come out against him, but they're all socialists. But I'll tell you right now, John F. Kennedy could not survive in the Democrat Party today. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. John F. Kennedy was all for lower taxes. He was a capitalist. He was a hardcore Democrat. Yes, he was. But he also believed in capitalism. And if I'm not mistaken, there was a speech that he gave. He said, the United States will not accept or defend any form of communism in the Western Hemisphere. That was during the Cuban Missile Crisis. So he could not survive in the Democrat Party. And apparently his nephew, is not going to survive as a family member within the Kennedy family because they've all come out against him, even though the Democrat Party has literally nearly destroyed that family. Look at, killed two of their members, John F. Kennedy and his brother. So really the only thing affecting them right now, the only thing affecting the Democrat Party is the fact that incumbents are being beaten by DSA members. As far as ideology goes, there's really no different. That's the only problem that the Democrat Party has with the DSA. It's these people who are getting shellacked by new, young DSA members. The old school Democrats are on their way out. I think, obviously, Nancy Pelosi's leaving. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I heard that AOC is actually going to run against, could possibly run against Schumer. And the really, he talks about the alarming part is the how many have embraced, but look at the age of some of these people. Look at how young they are. Young, impressionable people. It's the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party, we all know, has come out and said that they actually wanted 16-year-olds to start voting. Instead of waiting until they're 18, they wanted them to vote at 16. They want to give 16-year-olds the right to vote because they are young, impressionable. Their minds have been mashed and mushed and indoctrinated with communist filth in schools across the country. Why not let them vote? 9 times out of 10, they're going to vote Democrat. They're going to vote for communist policies. They're going to vote for big government. They're going to vote for all that. And again, big government. Look what Trump, the one guy that could put a stop to all of it is right here, Donald Trump. Nobody expected this man to win in 2016 against Hillary Clinton, another communist. Nobody expected him to win. He threw a wrench into all of their plans, and those plans, when it comes right down to it, those plans started, I should say the end game plans started in 2009 when Barack Obama was elected president. I believe that this guy is a Manchurian candidate. I believe that Barack Obama was brought in to wrap things up in the United States and take down capitalism. And if you need proof, well, all you have to do is take a look at Obamacare. Look at how we expanded government left and right. Expansion everywhere. Massive amounts of new government employees everywhere. Government in our lives, government here, government there, government everywhere. I believe that Barack Obama was brought in to try and end the United States, end capitalism. He's even said before in his book, I think it was Dreams from My Father, whatever the fuck that means. His father was a communist. Barack Obama, when he was in college, he used to hang out with Marxists. He even said it. So, the Department of Education has done its job. Again, if you look at the number of children, the number of kids across the country who look to socialism, it is quite alarming. The number of children who look at it, and everything has become politicized. Everything, which is part of one of communism's tenets. Make everything political. Look what they did with the NFL. Look at the WNBA. Racism. Oh yeah, it's all white privilege now. They Cunningham there. I mean, it's gotten so ridiculous. This week, Gavin Newsom dismissed concerns over Democratic Socialists of America and progressive candidates winning key primaries, stating he would gladly campaign for them, and he will. He will. They will. The Democrat Party is not going to turn these people away in favor of, like he said, the Big Ten. I get that, but at the end of the day, the policies are all the same. There's very little between the Democrat Party and the DSA that's different. I mean, there might be one or two little things here and there, but for the most part, these folks are joined at the hip. If I'm not mistaken, you look at people like well, his aunt, I think Nancy Pelosi, it's his aunt, isn't it? Yeah, by marriage. Mitch McConnell, Chuck Schumer, Thune Tillis. You know, the Save America Act right now, right now is a wonderful opportunity for Republicans to come together and really end this march to communism. The Democrat Party um, has actually lost a very large number of voters since 2020. Actually, it's really started before the 2020 election, which is why the 2020 election was stolen. Now, I know there's people out there, oh, shut up, John. It wasn't stolen. Yes, it was. Everybody knows it was. There were more votes than there were voters. It's that simple. It's been proven. But that's the entire reason that the election was stolen. The idea was to bring in COVID-19, try to destroy Trump with COVID-19. It didn't work. So what did they do? Plan B. Plan B was to come in and rig the election the way that they did. Mail-in votes. Look at the number of people that were dropping votes in the boxes, all illegally. All of the shutdowns in the middle of the night, boarding up windows. Nobody could watch the voter or the vote counters or the the people who were supposed to be there watching the vote counting were sent home, and votes were still tallied. Everything changed in the middle of the night when nobody was looking. It was stolen. The truth is the Democrat Party has lost 4 to 5 million voters. This includes Democrats and independents, blue blood Democrats. These are moderate Democrats, but still a huge part of what the Democrat Party needed to win. Well, what do you do in that case? You flood the country with new voters, illegal immigrants. That's why they're fighting so hard to keep these people here. And they're also fighting so hard to keep the Save America Act from becoming law. And they have people like John Thune, this fucking traitor piece of shit, who is, quite frankly, he's one of them. There's no other reason. There's no way. There's no way in hell that anybody in the Republican Party should be against the Save America Act. There's no way anybody. There's no excuse. The only excuse that there is that he is working for the other side. And this has gone on for a very long time. You also take a look across the globe. Look at Europe. The simultaneous invasion of the United States and the EU at the same time. All of it was going on at the same time. From the south here, it was South America, Central America, Mexico, Colombia, you name it, Venezuela, Haiti. They were bringing them in from all over the place, new voters. And you take a look at Europe with all the Muslim countries sending Muslims north into Europe. Look at the rapes, the murders. Look what happened here. And the Democrats are going along with it. Why? Because they will use anything that they can to bring about this new agenda of communism. It's that simple. They don't care. They don't care if it's Islam that does it. They don't care if it's people south of the border from Mexico that do it. They don't give a shit. What they want is power, and they're willing to do anything to gain it. This whole idea is, anti-capitalism, but you look at Democrats, all of them claim to be, they want anti-capitalism, they want communism, but all of them, look at Nancy Pelosi, the millions of dollars they've made in the market. They don't want you to get that kind of money, but it's okay for them to get that kind of money. So, let's see, paragraph 3. The paragraph 3 starts out, not that anyone asked me, but wow, the candidates the Newsom is referring to are not subtle. They have clearly articulated precisely what they want and exactly what they will try to accomplish if they gain power. No border, no police, no prisons, no Senate, from each according to his needs, from each according to his abilities, and so forth. They are literally quoting Karl Marx, and they are literally on the record as desiring to completely dismantle our government and replace it with actual communism. And the governor of California says he will campaign on their behalf. If doing so will result in a congressional win. Truly amazing. You know, I've talked about this before when it comes to minorities, or excuse me, not minorities, but majorities within either House of Congress, the Senate, the House, it doesn't matter. When Democrats have a majority or even a minority, they still get things done because there's always a few Republicans or so-called Republicans that are willing to work with the Democrat Party, and that means guys like Thune, Murkowski, Collins, McConnell, even John McCain. I know he's dead now, but he was, well, they called him the Maverick, and they called him the Maverick because he was a fucking backstabber. John McCain campaigned on ending Obamacare, and when it came right down to it during Trump's first administration, John McCain decided to vote against ending Obamacare. Now, a lot of people speculate that it was because he was just a kind of a tit-for-tat guy. He decided to stick a knife in Trump's back, which is okay, fine. But if you look at his record, how many times did he caucus with the Democrat Party to try and help them out and turn his back on Republicans? The guy was an asshole. Subtlety has gone out the window. There is no subtlety anymore. No police, no prisoners, no borders, no Senate. They want to pack the Supreme Court with, or even end it, I suppose. But they want to pack it, at the very least, pack it with liberal justices who are willing to go outside of the Constitution. You know, you think about, look at the judiciary in this country right now. Look at all of these radical judges, these radical left-wing judges who are fighting tooth and nail against Trump, his executive orders, and so on. They will find anything to put on paper to shut down anything that Trump does. All these judgments against Trump, I mean, it's gotten into the hundreds. Comparably speaking to other presidents in the past, the judiciary in this country has gone all out to try and destroy Trump. This is not none of it has anything to do with being legal. The fact that they wear a fucking robe is giving them what they think is giving them the authority to do this stuff. And they're shutting him down at every single opportunity that they can. Has Obama come out against the DSA? No. He's not going to. This is what Obama wanted. And if you need proof, well, let's take a look. 2009 was really supposed to be the beginning of the end of the United States. Trump has thrown a huge wrench into that. But this is the guy, this is where it all started right here, Barack Obama. This was the beginning of the end. Again, I said that the Democrat Party has been drifting towards communism for a very long time, but Obama, I believe, with the Manchurian Candidate, was supposed to come in here and once and for all end this thing within the United States and get it over with. Again, here's another one. Anita Dunn. This speech, she actually wound up leaving the Obama administration because she gave this speech. Two of her favorite political philosophers, she said during the speech, are Mao Zedong and Mother Teresa. Well, Chairman Mao was obviously responsible for millions upon millions of deaths. Call it murder, starvation, whatever. If they didn't starve him, they shot him. Again, communism, I said it earlier, if you compared it to Nazism, communism wins hands down when it comes to the body count. Communism wins hands down over Nazism. Nazism was a very small window in history. Communism has gone on for, nearly 2 centuries now. Nearly 2 centuries. Um, Obama was supposed to kill the USA as we know it. He is still the ringleader. He is the one who actually orchestrated the targeting of Donald Trump, the P-dossier, all of it. It was his plan. He hatched it. He was the ringleader. Proof has come out left and right. It's all over the place because Trump was bringing this thing to the forefront. He was exposing the left for the communists that they are, for the corrupt, evil people that they are. If you go back to John F. Kennedy, it wasn't long before his assassination where he said that the United States, that there is a plot in the United States to enslave every man, woman, and child. And before I leave this high and noble office, I intend to expose that plot. Now, ladies and gentlemen, he was not talking about the Republican Party because Republicans don't want to enslave anybody. He was referring to the Democrat Party, the deep state. And he was murdered because he was going to expose it. That's the truth. Obama orchestrated the coup against Trump during his first administration. It continues to this day. Look at Obamacare taking over health care. It's one of the tenets of the Communist Party. It's one of the tenets of communism. Take over health care. You own health care. If the government owns health care, they own you. There are, let me see if I can find it here. Let me pull it up. Hang on 1 second. Democrat Party, there is a breakdown, the tenets of communism. And here it is. This is as of 2020. This is the Democrat Party platform. Redress the systemic injustices that have long plagued our society. The Republican Party have rigged the economy in favor of the wealthiest few and the biggest corporations and left working families out in the cold. We will guarantee the right to join unions. Yeah, none of that is true. The Republican Party has never done anything like that. They haven't rigged anything. If you want to go out and earn a comfortable living, you can go out and work your ass off just like anybody else can. And if you need proof of that, well, you can take a look at people like Oprah Winfrey. She's the wealthiest African American woman. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, on the planet, at the very least, in the United States, she's a billionaire. Sean P. Diddy Combs, I know he's sitting in prison right now, but the man was wealthy beyond his dreams. How does that happen? Look at, entrepreneurism. People start companies all the time, make millions of dollars. Anybody can do it here in the United States. You just have to have the gravitas. You have to have the balls to do it. That's all. Number 2, we will not rest until every American can access quality health care and prescription drugs, achieve universal affordable quality health care. This is what happened with Obamacare. That was the idea behind Obamacare, but they took over all of healthcare. I mean, it's been shredded now. Obamacare has been shredded. But the opportunity or the idea was to take over healthcare. That is, again, another tenet of the Communist Party. We will end the war on government that has politicized our institutions, denigrated public service, and left the American people on their own. The American people should be on their own. We don't need government. We don't want government. We will provide a world-class education in every zip code to every child because education is a critical public good. Well, again, you've got the Department of Education doing its job. The federal government should not be involved in education at all. It never should have been. Raise wages and promote workers' rights. Democrats will partner with American farmers, ranchers, and foresters to make the U.S. agriculture sector the first in the world to achieve net zero emissions. Build a fair system of internal trade for our workers. level the economic playing field, reform the tax code to benefit working families, curb Wall Street abuses, end poverty. They've been trying to end poverty for years. Nothing's helped. They've dumped billions upon trillions even into ending poverty, trying to improve schools and so on and so forth, and none of it has worked. Big government does not work. Reform our criminal justice system. We just talked about it. They want to end prisons, end the police, end ICE, end the Federal Bureau of Investigation, end the DOJ. All of those prisoners, they're all Democrat voters, or at least that's what the Democrats are thinking. Build an effective, transparent government. Well, if you guys want to build an effective, transparent government, why the hell haven't you done it? Right now, the Trump administration is the most transparent government we've ever had. The Democrats, anytime they come to power, everything is hush-hush. Everything is hush-hush. Look at Benghazi. Look at the lies they told us about Benghazi. That it was a video that caused the riot over there, that killed our service members, the people at our consulate over there. All the lies, all the bullshit. They're trying to tell us they want to build a more transparent government. What a joke. It's a joke. Unreal. It's unfucking real. Oh, where are we? This was paragraph number 3. Yeah, quoting Karl Marx, and they are literally on record as desiring to completely dismantle our government and replace it with actual communism. And the governor of California says he will campaign on their behalf. That's mind-blowing, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. That is freaking mind-blowing. It's crazy. Paragraph number 4. Oh, wait a minute. Where am I here? Here we go. Number 4. Seems to me that this is the best opportunity Democrats will have to make some kind of reasonable appeal to independents and those not on board with this administration. This is a chance to affirmatively distance themselves from an ideology that has caused more human suffering than any other scheme dreamt up by man, and yet they have not, and they won't. They won't. I said it just a few minutes ago, the Democrat Party, since 2020, even before that, they started shedding voters left and right. 4 to 5 million voters, if I'm not mistaken, the reports came out last year that they had lost 4 to 5 million voters since 2020 or 2019, somewhere around there. This included moderate Democrats and independents. Those were people that they could always rely on. But the Democrat Party under Obama has become so fucking radical. They knew, the Democrat Party knew that they were going to wind up losing voters because of this radical agenda. These Democrats, these moderates and independents, they knew they were going to lose them. Well, what do you do in that case? Well, you create COVID-19 to try and win the election by destroying Trump. People caught on. They didn't buy it. They didn't buy any of it. They knew it was a fucking lie. So what do? You rig the 2020 election. That's the only thing that they could do to save themselves. And then after the election, what do? Flood the nation with new voters. That's exactly how this went down, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is going on for a very long time, all of it. They knew they were going to lose a lot of these voters. Their radical agenda, the whole transgender thing, the boys and girls sports, these moderate Democrats and independents didn't want anything to do with that. They believed in the Democrat Party and the Democrat agenda of old, not this new radical shit with, these fucking people walking around with blue hair, losers, trash. They didn't want anything to do with that stuff. Many of these Democrats are Christians. They're Christians, and they still believe in Christianity. But the Democrat Party is shedding religion unless, of course, it is Islam. They will use Islam to bring about change. They don't care. But Christianity, they want nothing to do with it. Flood the country with illegal voters. School children know all about the evils of Nazis. If you think about this, if you look at schools, They know about all the evils of the Nazi Party back during World War II. But why is it that nobody knows about all the evils of the Soviet Union, China? What about the killing fields in Cambodia? Did you know that in Cambodia, the killing fields, the Khmer Rouge, did you know that they wiped out a third of the population of Cambodia? Did you know that? Does your school child know that? Why not? Because communism does not want to out itself. That's why. They're not going to tell you about that. And what do? They'll tell you about Nazism because they want you to believe that Republicans are Nazis. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, over the course of the last 10 years, we have been labeled Nazis, even before that. Since 2009, really. Since 2009, the Republican Party under the Obama administration was known as Nazis, fascists and shit like that. But they don't talk about communism. They don't talk about it. They don't want you to know about it because they are communists. It's really that simple. Anita Dunn. I showed you that picture of her just a few moments ago. Where's my cursor? Come on, man. Where are you here? Anita Dunn, right here. Here she is. Mao Zedong, one of her favorite political philosophers. This video, this speech that she gave was before a high school auditorium filled with high school kids. This is back in 2009. Now, she stepped down from her position within the Obama administration shortly after the speech because she was called out on why the hell she would ever say that Mao Zedong was one of her favorite political philosophers. The guy was a murderer. He murdered literally millions of Chinese people just because they didn't agree with him. Now, I also want to bring to your attention, this is back in 2009. This is the first year the Obama administration was in office. And here we go. This is a photograph of an ornament on their Christmas tree. There he is. Chairman Mao on the White House Christmas tree. Why? Why? Because communism started really a long time ago, and Obama, like I said, was brought in to clean up the mess or to end it once and for all. There's no reason that I was surprised. I remember when that came out, that picture. I remember that back in 2009. It's like, what the hell is that doing on the White House Christmas tree? Now we know, ladies and gentlemen. Now we know. You think about the political class, again, the Save America Act. It's just, I don't know, it's ridiculous. School children know all about the evils of Nazism. The Anita Dunn speech. Trump's popularity is growing, ladies and gentlemen. This is paragraph 5 right here. I understand the unpopular president. I understand how unpopular President Trump is in the eyes of many, but if the DSA continues to grow in popularity and the Democrats actually campaign on their behalf, I think it will be the biggest political blunder of my lifetime. Unless, of course, I'm wrong and the DSA expands to swallow the Democrat Party. It's already been swallowed, Mike. It's already been swallowed a long time ago. And communism winds up on the ballot, in which case Ronald Reagan's warning will haunt us all. Freedom is never more than one generation from extinction. Trump's popularity is growing. The only way that these people can win, you look at the Democrat Party right now, the DNC right now. I talked about it last week. The DNC put up their headquarters for a $15 million loan. They're broke. The Democrat Party is broke. I can tell you right now, the DSA, they're not going to be any different. They're going to be broke. The only way they're going to be able to win elections is through fraud, which is, again, it doesn't list it as a tenet of communism, but it's a tenet of communism. Win no matter what. Even if you have to steal it, do it. It's not the voters that count, it's the people who count the voters. truth. And I want you to think about this too. Look at the Republican Party within the United States since, I'm going to say, the last time that the Republican Party had a majority in Congress that really mattered, that was really hardcore conservative policy, was under Bill Clinton. Since then, we've had people like McConnell, John Boehner. You guys remember John Boehner? John Boehner was just a low-life, claimed to be a Republican, but worked against the Republican Party on a regular basis. McConnell is another one in the Senate Majority Leader. He's also been the Senate Minority Leader, if I'm not mistaken, and he has worked hand in hand with the Democrat Party on a regular basis. You know, I'm going to say something too. I brought this up before in my podcast. Why? Why did McConnell's wife, when he went into the hospital, why did she automatically hop on an airplane and fly to China? Why? What was she doing over there? Your husband is on his fucking deathbed and you're getting on a fucking airplane to fly to China? Are you shitting me? Why didn't anybody ask about that? Why was that so hush-hush? I'd really like to know. I'd like an answer to that. But Boehner, Ryan, Paul Ryan, we all know Paul Ryan is actually married to a flaming liberal. I remember when Paul Ryan came into office, they did an interview with him. He was, this supposed to be some conservative bigwig. He was the new freshman congressman, and he listens to Led Zeppelin and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I'm cool and all that shit. The reality is, Paul Ryan, guys like him, Boehner, Ryan. You got people like John McCain. I mentioned him earlier. Collins, Murkowski. All of these people focus on working with the Democrat Party on a regular basis. Again, there is when you look at just the Save America Act in general. Look at Murkowski in Alaska. She's for ranked choice voting. Many of these people are. Many of these Republicans are. She's for ranked choice voting. That's a Democrat thing. Oh, she loves the idea. But all of these people, as far as I'm concerned, are socialists. If there are any Republicans who are against the Save America Act, they're not Republicans. This idea, this whole rhino thing, that they should be forced to actually leave the Republican Party and move over to the Democrat Party. And folks, who cares? Let them go. Let them go. The Republican Party does not hold a majority in either house because of fucking assholes like this. Even guys like Don Bacon out of Nebraska. Hardcore anti-Trump, anti-conservatism. The guy's a piece of shit. It's a piece of shit. All of them. All of them. They should be forced to leave the Republican Party and move over where they fucking belong. I'll say it again. The Democrat Party was swallowed long ago by communism. But the Republican Party, it is very clear, has been infiltrated by communists or socialists or people who are going to work on behalf of the Democrat policies, which are leaning communism. And it has been for a very long time. It is my opinion that it's going to take a fucking war to stop this, folks. It really is. It's going to take a war to stop it because these Democrats aren't into doing things on a fair basis. You're going to find going forward, they're going to find other ways. If they can't do it through mail-in ballots, they're going to find other ways to rig the election to come to power. What choice are they going to have? Are they going to bring in communism only to be stepped on by Republicans or conservatives who hold majorities if that ever fucking happens? They're going to do whatever they can to try and win elections. Flood the country, mail-in ballots, whatever it takes. No voter ID. We have to have an ID for everything, but no voter ID to vote. One of your biggest civic duties, and you don't have to have an ID. Anybody can walk up and vote. Doesn't matter who the fuck it is. Doesn't matter what country they're from. Doesn't matter if they're a citizen or not. They don't care. And of course, Rowe goes on to say, where is it here? Unless, of course, I'm wrong and the DSA expands to swallow the Democrat Party and communism winds up on the ballot, in which case Ronald Reagan's warning will haunt us all. Freedom is never more than one generation from extinction. Well, this has taken about 2.5 generations to come to be. Quite frankly, I think a generation is 15 to 20 years or something like that. So Carter, we're talking, nearly 50 years ago? Folks, communism is here. It has been here, and it has been a slow, steady march. The stuff that we used to laugh about when Reagan was in office, that it'll never happen here in the United States, has been on a steady march towards communism. There's no question. And these people, their work ethic, I wrote about this on Substack. The communist work ethic is legendary, folks. These people will stop at nothing. They don't fucking sleep. They don't sleep. Could you imagine Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama sleeping? No. Cockroaches don't sleep. They work behind the scenes. They have been working behind the scenes for decades now. And what is their number one mission? End the United States. The one thing, the one country on the planet that can stop or end communism, they are here to end the United States of America. So this has gone on for a very long time. Mike Rowe, I agree with everything you said, other than the simple fact that you're assuming Democrats and the Democratic Socialists of America are two completely different ideologies. They're not. They're all the same. The Democrat Party is not going to work against the DSA. Just like Newsom said, we need to bring them all under the same tent. They're already under the same tent. The policies are pretty much the same. Nothing's going to change. Nothing. So, folks, that's all I got for you today. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. It's been my pleasure. I always like doing these things, and this one was a lot of fun. I enjoyed putting this one together. And again, I don't dislike Mike Rowe. I'm a big fan of his. I just thought he was slightly misguided here, and I wanted to share my thoughts on it. So, again, thanks for being here with Damn Straight Media and Damn Straight Live. I appreciate it. I will be back on Wednesday with another show at noon Eastern Standard Time. Again, share the link with your buddies, your friends, your family, everybody. I want everybody to see it. And thanks again. We'll catch you guys later from Damn Straight Media. Take care.